BC Burke asks, with some terminals having ground and express delivered by the same terminals, how is this going to affect scale?
Yeah, that's a great question. And you may know some about this too. So correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but I have a suspicion that this is why some of the maximums are getting increased, is because volume is increasing. So that's kind of happening around the same time here. Because the Express is adding just a ton of density, a ton of volume into the system. So I don't know that it would be fair to double volume and then say cut your business in half. So I can't imagine that would be the most wise decision on FedEx's part. So I would say increasing for that reason. That these things are going hand in hand. Is that how you're perceiving?
I think you're exactly right, because what you're having in certain markets is you're having because right now the express buildings are often not in the same city as the ground buildings. So what's happening is when a ground terminal integrates and it gets express volume, it's only getting some of the zip codes that are serviced by the existing ground contractors, right? So because some of them, the territories that are serviced by the express terminal are going to be closer still to the existing terminals that are still open around that ground terminal, right? So some of the terminals may shut down, some of them may not, because they're rolling it out in waves. And so only certain markets and only certain CSAs within certain ground terminals are going to get that express volume. Now, some of them, it's going to be a pretty close to 100% perfect overlap, but that's not going to be the case in most of the markets until we get closer to full integration. And that's going to take we're still about 4 to 5 years out from not being a full thing. And even then, as we've talked about here before, I even anticipate that there's always going to be a place for at least some express buildings out there, just because some markets are getting so many of those early morning high priority deliveries. It's just not feasible to push them out with a lot of ground volume. So I don't ever see a world where there's no FedEx Express whatsoever. But I think you're right, Leah, as it comes to scale, some contractors are going to see significant growth and significant, scale overages, whereas some contractors in a building will not, because their zip codes are not going to get express integration at the same time.